Can Danil Medvedev be considered a threat for this year's Roland Garros title also, I think? I'm going to answer, or at least try to answer, to this question in this video. Hopefully I'm not going to be the only one, because there is a comment section down below, and hopefully a lot of you or someone is going to try to answer and argue with me about and start a dialogue with the other guys on the comment section about Danil Medvedev's possibilities for a second Grand Slam at the French Open. It seems impossible, but who knows? In the future, as Rafa said, I don't know, many years ago, nobody knows. Well, not even years ago, months ago, actually. And this, I think, is a very interesting question. But before we start with the video and before we start talking about Medvedev's chances at this year's Roland Garros, I just invite you to subscribe to the channel. We are at 188 subscribers. I hope that we reach 200 subscribers before the start of Roland Garros, which is on the 28th of May. There is still plenty of time left, but we are blocked, we are stuck at 188 subscribers since 1 week. But, you know, it's never too late. Just click that subscribe button and the subscribe count will go up. And it's going to be really, really great for me and for everyone, I think. Then, of course, activate the notification bell. That's for you, especially because I upload videos whenever I want. I don't upload videos at a specific time. If a day I want to upload a video at 3 p.m., I do it. Sometimes it's going to be at 6 a.m., like the senior Alcaraz match, I do it. Sometimes it's going to be at, I don't know, midnight, I do it. In summer, I say this to you now, I anticipate this. The videos are going to be programmed at least for, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, because I'm going to be in Cuba with my family after 4 years finally. And there is also going to be a vlog about this journey that is going to be really special. But I don't want to spoil more things to you. Actually, in that month, the videos are going to be programmed at a specific hour that you're going to see. But, you know, in July there is a lot of work to do for me on my videos, because I have to record 30 videos before, or 40 even, I don't know how many I want, 1 video a day at least. Okay, now I think that we can start talking about Medvedev's chances at Roland Garros. Today I didn't know about what to talk on this English video. You know, every Monday there is an English video on this channel. I'm also thinking about opening a channel on, opening a second channel that is full English. If I'm going to do so, on this channel there is still going to be 1 video a day, but there are going to be 3 videos a day, 3 videos a week on the secondary channel in English. But I'm not convinced at all, because I think that my skills are still not there, yet, sorry, I corrected myself here, I think. Doing great, but it's a possibility. I'm thinking about it. It would be great to one day have an English channel and an Italian channel, and yes, my English is improving day by day, I believe, because I'm speaking, you may not believe it, but I speak English a lot, every day. Because I love the language, I prefer it to Italian, I prefer even Spanish. Sometimes I also speak Spanish. Sometimes I just want to talk in English or in Spanish, even with myself. I don't know if, no one knows it because I never recorded a video about it, but sometimes I am there, maybe sitting on a chair like on this occasion, not recording it, but I'm acting like a player that is doing a press conference, and that's something that I like. Honestly, for example, sometimes I act like Nadal and I answer the imaginary questions from the journalists, and it's fun. Maybe a day there's going to be a video about it. Something a series about it. It's going to be cool, I think. But 5 minutes on this video and someone is going to answer why did we click on this video if this guy is talking about his hobbies in English. We have to start with Medvedev's possibilities for this year's French Open. So, Medvedev Medvedev's 2022 has been a very bad season, in my opinion. It has been a disappointing one. Very bad, maybe it's an exaggeration, but it hasn't been a good one, I think. We all expected better things from Medvedev in 2022. In 2021, Medvedev did incredibly good, I think, especially in Alcaraz, on clay, struggling, but he still reached the quarters at Roland Garros in 2022, losing to Stefanos Tsitsipas in 3 sets, but one set was okay, 6-3, but the other one was a tiebreaker, so he could have even win it. Then the third set, he was one break up, and Stefanos won that set 7-5. I actually believe that in that year Medvedev played pretty well at Roland Garros, I think. But in 2022, sorry, we were talking about 2021, and I'm still going to talk about 2021. These were his results on clay. Then he reached the Australian Open final in 2021, losing to Djokovic badly. He got his revenge eventually at the US Open, where he won in 3 straight sets, 6-4, with an astonishing performance. We know Novak broke down in tears, emotions, pressure, etc., for the Grand Slam, something that wasn't happening since, and isn't happening since, I think, 53 years or 54 years, if I remember well. So that was a really, really good year for Medvedev. Then he reached the final in Bercy, he reached the final at the Nitto TV Finals, closed the year as world number 2, close to world number 1, and we expected him to be the world number 1 for the next season, because Djokovic had to defend a lot of points, Medvedev also to defend plenty of points, of course, a lot of points, but he didn't have to defend so much points. And everything seemed to be okay until Australian Open. But then the legend Nadal, with an historical comeback, I still consider that a huge match. I remember watching that after Rafa was 2-0 down. I remember saying to my mother, unfortunately I don't have it on camera, but I remember saying that to my mother, yeah, if Nadal loses the second set, he's gone completely, no chances that he wins the Australian Open. And I even said in Italian, I will translate it to English, I think, to the screen, Nadal say goodbye to Australian Open after losing the second set, and I got silenced in 3 hours, 4 hours, I don't remember how many hours of difference were from the end of the second set until the end of the match. I think that in 2 sets they played for 1 hour and 50, something like that, and then after 2 hours and a half or even something more, they ended the match. That match was really, really, it was mind something that was extraordinary. I didn't expect to ever see and witness a match like that. But eventually it happened. At the end it happened. And that was a really, really good match, I believe. Then it was a downfall until this year's Australian for Medvedev, an awful year. In fact, he dropped from the top 10 after 4 or 2.5 consecutive years where he was in the top 10. He dropped out of the top 10 at the start of this season after the Australian Open. And yes, from there on, he started to work hard. He really, really wanted to be back at the level that he used to be before, and he worked very hard in order to be back at that level. He won Rotterdam, which was, I think, the turning point for Medvedev, especially the final. In that final, he played really, really well, I think. The first set, Sinner played great, but in the second and third set, Medvedev was just a wall. Was something really, really out of this world. That was a wall. That performance from Medvedev was illegal, because all of the very powerful shots that Sinner was throwing at Medvedev were coming back constantly. Danil wasn't afraid of the power of Sinner and the precision accuracy. So that was a really, really, really great match from Danil, and that was a turning point, as I said. Then he went on and he continued with this form, and he won in Doha against Andy Murray. Oh my god. What happened there? Sorry. Then he won against Andy Murray in the final in Doha. Also there, another great tournament. In Dubai, semi-finals against Novak. We can even say that he won comfortably against the world number 1. He won playing at a super high level. Then he went on and destroyed Rublev completely. And if I remember well, Medvedev against Van de Zandschulp in Dubai, won 21 consecutive points to end the match. I don't know if that was the round of 16 or the quarters, but that's impressive. Then he won against Medvedev, then he won against then he won against Djokovic and against Rublev, destroying Rublev and winning comfortably against Novak, 6-4, 6-4, something like that. It was even 2 breaks up. That was a really, really, really great tournament from Danil. Indian Wells, so I remember doing a video about that in Italian, saying, is the true and the old Medvedev back? And the answer probably was yes, but we still had to wait for the Sunshine Double. We waited. And Medvedev answered with a yes. He said to us, yes, I'm back where I belong, I'm back at my best. Finals in Indian Wells, a court that he didn't like. He hated Indian Wells in terms of conditions. But you know, Danil is like this, it's a crazy guy, it's a card. I actually like Danil. There are some people who don't like Danil, but I think he's a great guy at the end. Even he's a great guy because I know sometimes his attitude on court is crazy, breaking rackets, complaining about stupid things. Do you remember what he did against Zverev? Not talking about the polemics of Zverev that he said that Medvedev is an unfair player. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about what he did to the net. That was funny, and I think that the umpires and the rules should stop to be the slaves of the players, because something like that, the umpire, don't talk Carbajsbain is the player, but the umpire said, if I remember well, until if he doesn't break the net and if he doesn't break the stick, it's okay. That's stupid, I think, because he could do that for 1,000 times and he wouldn't get a warning, and that's unfair. I think that on some points, on some things, the rules should be more strict. Strict is the right word. They should be more strict, because if you do that for 1,000 times and you don't receive a warning, then basically the rules make the umpires and the supervisors the slaves of the players, because they can do whatever they want. Actually, of course, they can't eat like what happened with Noli. They can't eat on purpose, and even not on purpose, because Novak didn't eat the line judged on board, the bulky line judge, I don't remember who was her. I don't remember honestly. And even if you don't do it on purpose like Novak, you will still be defaulted, and that's fair, I think, because you don't have to throw a ball in the public. That's unfair, and you got rightfully a warning. But also those behaviors by Medvedev are not very... He should have not been disqualified for that, but at least a warning. I don't want to say a lot, at least a warning. But coming back to the video, he played well in Indian Wells, considering that it wasn't his best, that the circumstances weren't. What a bad verb, honestly, guys. Forgive me for that. But I understood my error, and I will say it well. So, the warrant was warrant correct? Oh my god, I'm getting crazy, I don't know. Let's start again. Medvedev, Indian Wells conditions weren't the most suitable for Medvedev. I don't know why I blocked there. That was the right verb. And if I did an error and you want to correct me, do it in the comment section, of course, as always. But coming back to the video, because I'm changing the topic of the video every second, Danil played well in the Wells and he got destroyed by Alcaraz, but he still played well. In the final, he didn't play well, but apart from the final, he played really well in that tournament. Then Miami, great tournament, won against Sinner in the final. Finally, in Indian Wells, he was back in a Masters 1000 final after 1 year and a half. And in Miami, he was back at winning a Masters 1000 after more than 1 year and a half, because the last final of Danil Medvedev in Masters 1000 was in Paris-Bercy in 2021, and the last Masters 1000 won by Medvedev was until this year's Miami, was in Toronto in 2021. So it was a really, really good... was a really good month from Medvedev, actually. It reminds me about Federer's 2019 March, where he won in Miami, and where he lost the final in the Wells. Same thing happened to Medvedev. Also, Alcaraz had a very good month there. But we want, and I want to talk about clay, but I'm talking about hard courts. That's 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 bad. It shouldn't be like this, but it's fair that I talk about also hard courts because this is the surface where Medvedev plays at his best. This year, I think that this year Medvedev is playing well on clay. Well for his standards, of course. In Monte Carlo, he reached the quarterfinals. He won the first round comfortably against Sonego. We thought that Sonego could do more, but Medvedev prevailed and played, I think, a great match. Then he won against Zverev. Zverev was serving for the match in two occasions. If I remember well, he was serving for the match at 6-3, 5-4 up and at 6-3, 5-7, 5-4 up. And both times Medvedev broke him back. Probably Zverev has problems with his mental strength in these occasions, and he struggles because Zverev is also a player that is coming back after a long-term injury, and is incredibly far from his level, from what he used to be before. The match against Alcaraz was really humiliating for Zverev, I think. He played awful, and Alcaraz was playing well, of course. He's way better than Zverev as of today, but it was a really bad performance for Zverev. Even in Rome against Goffin, Zverev played bad. He won because Goffin is probably even worse than him at the moment, and Goffin is 33, 34, I don't know how old is Goffin, but Zverev doesn't convince me at all, in any mean. But Medvedev on clay, this season is playing well. Then he lost to Rune, maybe could have done more, but he was tired after a lot of matches, played consecutively, so that's normal. Then he continued training, of course. He skipped Barcelona, great idea because he has to rest a bit. Then he played in Madrid, won two matches. He won against Vavassori, he didn't play that well, but when the important moments arrived, he stepped up and he showed to Vavassori who the boss was in that match, who the winner was in that match. Then against Shevchenko, he didn't play very well, but he still won in 3 sets. The start was sleepy, we can call it in this way, was sleeping on court. Actually, he started playing really bad, but then he came back and won 7-5 in the third. Against Karatsev played fantastic, incredible shots, forehands and backhands on the lines. A really surprising tournament from Karatsev. We didn't expect that, but now he is in Rome, or he is playing a challenger, and he's normal as always. Apart from two exceptions in Roland Garros last year, at the Australian Open 2 years ago, and in Dubai 2 years ago, where he won Dubai and reached the semifinals of the Australian Open as a qualifier, if I remember well, and then he lost against Djokovic in the semifinals in straight sets. I think, yes, it was straight sets. I don't remember the score, of course, but it was in straight sets. Then he lost to Karatsev, who played unbelievable, as I've said, and Medvedev didn't play his best. Normal. Now he's in Rome, and he played, I'm recording this video after his win against Zapata Miralles. Against Rusevori, I expected him to lose. We actually said that in the Salotino of tennis, but he played well. He played well against Rusevori, I think, after the first 2 or 3 games where he was 3 games to love down. He started playing better, he started feeling the ball better, and he won the match with credit, full credit for Medvedev for winning that match. And now against Zapata Miralles, he starts playing badly. He was even 2 breaks down, but then he starts feeling the ball better. The second set was great for his Sanders on clay, and the third set was great also. So those performances seem encouraging to me for Medvedev coming up to the French Open. Now I will say to you also against who is going to play Danil. We still don't know against who Danil Medvedev is going to play in the quarterfinals. I don't remember the part of the draw. Well, I remember the part of the draw it was on Alcaraz's part. Alcaraz who lost today against Marozsan. What a match! The Hungarian played something mind-boggling. I mean, didn't expect something like that. Unbelievable, I will be honest. Unbelievable, it's an easy word, it's a Rafa word, but Rafa is more like unbelievable, but we can say it was incredible at least. Besides jokes, talking about Danil, I think he has chances to do well in this tournament, even to win one or two matches more, even three, maybe who knows. With Alcaraz loss, everything on that side of the draw could happen. There is Zverev, there is Tsitsipas, and that would be the quarterfinal or the semi. No, that would be a semi-final if. Yes, that would be the semi-final, I think, and that would be a huge match if that happens, or if it is a quarterfinal, that would be a huge match also. But we have to see what today Tsitsipas does with Sonneborn. Talking about Medvedev's chances and the start of the video, where this video is about Medvedev's chances and Medvedev being a threat for this year's Roland Garros title. I think that he can't win Roland Garros, but I believe that he can do well in clay, and he can do well at Roland Garros if he accepts the surface. He knows that he isn't a clay court player, but if he accepts the surface and says, okay, it's not my favorite one, but I have to play well here also, let's just try my best. I think that at Roland Garros he can reach the quarters or even the semis. It depends on the draw, of course. If in the quarterfinals he plays against, I don't know, if in the projected draw there is Casper Ruud, who's not playing well, and he loses in the early rounds, then he can also reach the semis maybe, then eventually lose to Alcaraz or Djokovic probably. Those are the worst opponents for him, or Tsitsipas maybe also, it's a very tough one for him. I think he can actually do a good result at the French Open. I believe that Medvedev has great chances to win the US Open. Him and Alcaraz are two main favorites. There is also Djokovic, but I don't know. Also Novak, of course, is one of the favorites there, but I'm not convinced at all that he will win that event. I mean, today if I have to pick one US Open winner, I will go with Medvedev. I mean, if I have to do today's predictions for the Grand Slams, I'll go with French Open. I still pick Alcaraz. Wimbledon, Djokovic, because there is no one there, and the US Open, I'll go with Medvedev. These are the four winners, I think. That could be a great. Those three are three great options for those three tournaments. Those three tournaments, yes. Medvedev, I think, and then we had the video, has chances to reach the semis in Roland Garros, but more than that, I don't know. I'm skeptical about his chances of winning Roland Garros. I don't think he has a lot of chances to win Roland Garros. Of course, he's incredible tennis player, second in the race, but if he wins one or two matches more in Rome, if he wins two matches more, he's the first one in the race coming to the French Open, but I don't think that Medvedev can win the French Open as of today. I mean, his game is still lacking of something, but I think that he can do great at Roland Garros, and I think that he can reach the semi-finals. That would be a fantastic result for Medvedev at Roland Garros. He reached the quarters. I think that he can do that again. Last year he reached the fourth round. And if I have to predict a result for Medvedev in this year's French Open, it depends on the draw, because there are a lot of question marks for this Roland Garros. And we're going to talk about the next one in 2 weeks, I think, in our live stream, in our brand new streaming of tennis, which is of course Salotino of Tennis, is best tennis streaming in the world. No, I'm joking, but that would be a really great compliment if it is sincere, honestly, sincere, yes. But talking about Medvedev, coming back to Medvedev, and then we finish the video, and to the questions mark of Roland Garros, this year I think that more than every year in the last 18, there is a huge possibility that there is a new winner in Roland Garros. Who are the Roland Garros winners that are still playing? Wawrinka, no chance. Murray is a finalist. There is Djokovic. Djokovic could be the one if he wins Rome and if he does well. But then there are the new guns, the new players. And there is also Rafa if he plays. But I don't think he will play. I think that there are slim chances that he plays. I think it's tough that Rafa plays. At Roland Garros, I don't see him as a player that could possibly even win 2 matches at Roland Garros. If I have to say something about Nadal, if Nadal plays Roland Garros, first round loss or second round, at best second round. But I don't think that Nadal will play Roland Garros. He's still not ready, and I think he won't play until next year's Monte Carlo. And yeah, that's really sad. That's really unfortunate. But what are you going to do? Age catches with everyone. He managed to win Roland Garros until he was 36. I doubt that he will do it this year. So the final answer to my question for me is that Medvedev doesn't have chances to win Roland Garros. He isn't a threat for a Roland Garros title, but he's a threat for a semi-final, I think, quarter or semi-final. Thank you very much for what you're doing for me, and thank you very much for having watched this video, if you watched it. And yes, we'll see you in the next video. Ciao!